Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Gretchen's Vegan Bakery. Everyone is so focused right now on what to make for Thanksgiving dessert that we are forgetting about Thanksgiving breakfast. Hello. Gingerbread cinnamon buns, fresh and hot out of the oven and just bursting with gingerbread in every bite. Just when I thought my cinnamon bun recipe couldn't get any better, I decided to stuff it with my gingerbread cake. So if you want to knock some socks off this winter baking season, try these gingerbread stuffed cinnamon buns. Now, I never said greatness was easy, so you will have to go one extra step to bake my gingerbread cake recipe, but I had some leftover cupcakes from my last cake project, which is where this whole idea came from in the first place. So I crumbled them up and yep, I ate the big chunks that had too much icing still stuck all over it. But now I can start my cinnamon bun dough. If you are intimidated by making doughs, please don't be, especially this recipe. It's super easy. The first thing you have to do is prove your yeast. By adding it to the warm plant milk with a pinch of sugar, it's going to get nice and frothy and bubbly and tell you that it's alive. Next, you're going to get the banana puree to the mixing bowl, and yep, I'm using bananas here for the base of this dough. If you have made my pumpkin buns recipe, you'll know that the addition of something like pumpkin or banana to the dough makes it super fluffy and puffy and pillows of cinnamon bun goodness. But don't worry, the banana taste doesn't come through at all. So anyway, get the sugar and those bananas with the softened vegan butter and the salt and get it mixing to combine. Add the flour, and I always do have to help the mixer along at the beginning to form the dough, but once it does, you just let it mix out for 5 minutes on medium speed. It's at this point that you would add all the rest of the liquid ingredients, the plant milk and the yeast, and then you can adjust the flour consistency. You want it to be a soft dough, not sticky, and one that doesn't clear the sides of the bowl. So you'll have to adjust there, and I do write more about that and making yeast doughs and flour on my website at gretchensveganbakery.com. So be sure to click through not only to get the recipe, but to get all the things that you need to know about vegan baking in general. Alright, so a total of about 8 minutes to develop the dough, and at this point I've added the spices, but only because I forgot to add it along with the flour. It doesn't have to go in last, and I'm actually not sure what happened to my video at this point. I think I lost connection, but it was almost done anyway. So yeah, a total of about 8 minutes mixing, and then just plop it into a lightly oiled bowl, and you will see that it is still a sticky dough. So get it to a warm spot to double in size, and that might take about an hour. Now meanwhile, I'm preparing to roll the dough, and I have some melted vegan butter here with a spot of molasses. Once the dough has doubled in size, turn it out onto a floured surface and then just press it out gently. This is a very delicate dough, so just be gentle with it. Roll it out to the size of a half a sheet pan, which is about 12 inches by 18 inches, and that's going to be about a ½ inch thick dough. Now that melted vegan butter and molasses gets brushed all over it. Now I know some of you can't get molasses where you live, and that is seriously the saddest thing that I've ever heard in my life. I do give you some substitutions on my website with the recipe, but honestly there's really nothing that compares in taste to molasses. It's such a deep, smoky, ooh, it's just everything that gingerbread is made of. So, yeah, I mean, if you can't get it, that's a real bummer, but I do have some substitutions for you. Anyway, brown sugar with more gingerbread spices go over top of that, and then everything gets covered with that gingerbread cake. Now just get to rolling it up, and this is one super stuffed cinnamon bun for gigantic bakery style buns. Cut the log into 12 pieces, and of course you can half this recipe if 12 jumbo buns are just too much for you. But either way, get them into a greased pan. This is a 9-inch by 13-inch pan for 12 buns. You'll have to go a smaller pan if you do a half-size recipe. And this is going to take another hour, maybe less depending on your environment, but they do have to rise again before we bake them. You will see that they're going to be fluffy and puffy again and touching each other in the pan, and this is a good sign that they are ready to go. But before you bake them, brush the tops with another dose of that melted vegan butter and molasses, and into the oven they go. They're going to take about 40 minutes to bake, but to be sure, I always pull a piece of the dough away from the center to make sure that it's not still raw. And if it isn't, take them out, slightly cool them, but then ice them up with this light sugar glaze. I debated using my newest recipe for no refrigerator cream cheese icing, but I'm really glad I went with the sugar glaze instead. The cream cheese icing, while amazing, is a bit overpowering for these buns, and I just wanted these light, fluffy, loaded up gingerbread in every bite to shine through. So that's it. That's how you make the most perfect buns in the entire world. So I hope you'll head over to GretchensVeganBakery.com to grab the recipe. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe here to my channel and comment below. I want to thank everyone for being here with me. I do love reading your comments, and I look forward to chatting with you guys for a few minutes each week. And as always, I can't end a video without giving a great big thank you to my patrons on Patreon and my pals in PayPal. It is only because of these folks that I'm able to continue testing and creating and sharing all of my recipes for free for everyone. Their continued support every month allows me to drive to the store and buy more ingredients so I can keep this thing going. So let's give them a round of applause. If you think you can help for as little as a cup of coffee a month, click the links below to find out how. All right, everyone, thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy vegan baking. Bye for now.